I'll never forget the look in his eyes. The way he came up the stairs. He looked at the coffee table. He picked up a cookie and he said, "Where's the milk?" You join me today in Auckland, New Zealand, as we investigate this week's story. Morbidly interesting. As you know, over the past 2 years, we have uncovered some truly shocking events on this program. It is our mission to uncover the truth. It is our mission to reveal the disturbing depravity behind our holiday idols. Last year, we had the misfortune of investigating the Easter Bunny massacres and the subsequent missing persons cases that followed. And earlier this year, we looked into the Halloween ghosts and the sort of shenanigans that they get up to. Well, this week's episode brought me down to Auckland, the North Shore to be specific, where we had heard tale with a mysterious encounter with the alleged Mr. Claus some 3 years ago today. When we reached out to Miss Pacey's, she was willing to speak with us and was in fact very helpful. The things she told us perhaps raised more questions than answers, however. We'll let her tell you the rest of the story. My name is Alison. I'm 24 years old, though at the time of the incident I was 21. To set the scene, I was home alone on Christmas Eve. I'm quite fun, so I decided to stay up late and watch the clock tick past midnight. It was at around 11:30 that things began to happen. I started to hear noises in the distance, these big booms and warping sounds. Bells. I was excited, but I wasn't sure what I was hearing was real. It just seemed so crazy, so completely unbelievable. And yet I did believe it, partly because I'd taken 3 tabs of acid that evening. But then all lingering doubt was erased moments later when Santa came down my chimney. And I know that might not sound that unbelievable, but you've got to understand. My house doesn't have a chimney. Look, there's no fireplace in my house. And still he came down the chimney. I'll never know how he does it. It's like a fireplace just materialized, popped in out of nowhere. And then he was in. Santa appeared right before my very eyes. I stood up. He was... To give you a better idea of the image, I was here. Santa was about here. We made eye contact. His belly jiggled as he walked over to the coffee table. I remember that. And that was when it happened. Miss Pacey says the rest of what happened is too painful and confusing to recount. The insults were just unnecessary. I still don't understand why he kept calling me a hoe. The rest, as they say, is history. This story raises a lot of alarm bells and even more questions. Why is Santa going around milking people? Is this a widespread issue? Is this a one-time event? Or is this Santa punishing us for not leaving milk out with the cookies? It's all very confusing. And when we reached out to Santa, he declined to comment. Mr. Santa, what do you have to say for yourself in response to these allegations of milking?
Merry Christmas!
It really was very confusing. Our main question was why. And this whole situation brings me back to another investigation of ours earlier this year, in which we looked into the shenanigans of the Halloween ghosts. You see, we expected to find invisible ghosts hanging out around the women's changing rooms. But interestingly, we actually only found them hanging out around the men's, which of course begged the ongoing question. Are all ghosts women? Are they gay? Or are they simply one of the boys? And as for what all that has to do with Santa Claus, well, let's just say, oh, himiny blimbo. So then, if there's no realistic way to understand what does or doesn't cause Santa to go milkman mode, what can we do to prevent it happening to you? To defend you, we came up with a 3-step initiative. Prevent, fortify, defend. We're going to look at prevent first. First off, the main thing we've found as a correlation between these cases is that they've all occurred in houses where no milk was left for Santa. So therefore, the first preventative action we can take is to leave Santa a little bit of milk. The second preventative action. As you can see, we don't have a fireplace, but if you did have a fireplace, you could simply stuff the bottom of it full of stuff, uranium or acid. However, since we don't have a fireplace, it appears that Mr. Claus will just apparate in the room. The second step of our initiative is fortify. This is in the unfortunate case that Santa has already infiltrated your home. Step 1, construct a box fort. Part 3, defend. Gather weapons. Erect gun emplacements. And if you think that's still not enough, no. Only as a last resort. You can also wear armor. I understand that sometimes body armor is in short supply. If you play sports, protective gear might do as well. And lucky for me, I played 13 years of cricket. If Santa wants to milk me, I'm gonna fuck him up. Chloe, if you were Santa, you'd be so f***ed right now. I'm ready for Santa. Are you? I don't actually know how to end this video. Well, you know what they say. Oh, Himini Blimbo.